All right, Shalom. This is your brother Shamak out of the Great Millstone, Atlanta camp. Before I get started, I'm going to give all the glory, infinite praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ruach Kadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well in the overseas tabernacle of David. Shalom to our sincere brothers, preach, teaching truth across the four corners of the earth. And shalom to you sincere believers. Okay, here with a prophecy question and answer lesson. All right, this is a question I received on the comment board from a video I did about 8 months ago. Okay, and I thought it was it was a relevant question. Okay, and the person that asked the question was also scoffing it within the comment, so I just cropped that part out. But this question seems legit. All right, so as it says question, if you can answer, is the judgment in the valley of Jehoshaphat the same as the battle of Armageddon? All right, we're gonna answer this question using the scriptures and using sources. All right, and using words. Okay, so let's get right into it. This is Joel chapter 3, and these are prophetic chapters. These are prophetic scriptures that are going to happen. All right, these are the scriptures are going to come to pass. All right, so this is Joel chapter 3 verse 1. It reads, says, for behold, in those days and in that time will I bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. All right, so basically the Lord is going to reverse things. He's going to recompense, our slavery, man. All right, he's going to do the recompense for it, the vengeance upon the Lord. Okay, but verse 2, it reads, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. All right, so basically the point of the Lord's going to bring these nations, okay, in the valley of Jehoshaphat, all right, to basically defend the nation of Israel, to defend the Israelites, all right, for you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, all right. He's basically going to put these nations to death, man, all right. And it says whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land, all right. And let's skip over down to stay on topic and part of the lesson. This is Joel chapter 3 verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. So basically the Lord is saying, let these nations, come together, come in the valley of Jehoshaphat, all right, and try to partake in fighting against the Lord. All right, verse 10 says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. See, this is an act of war. Okay, it says, let the weak say I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen. So these is all the heathen, man. The heathen nations. You have Moab, the Chinese, Ammon, the Japanese. All right, you had the Edomites, so-called the self-proclaimed white nation. Okay, you have all these great nations in the valley of Jehoshaphat. It says all ye heathen, and those weren't all the nations. Okay, just FYI for your information. It says, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Okay, so in the midst of the valley of Jehoshaphat, the Lord's going to gather these nations. All right, because the Lord is the Father of all spirits. He's going to have these nations come into this area, okay, this location, and get judged all together, man. Great judgment. Verse 13 says, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. And that's another reason why the Lord is going to judge these heathen nations, man, because they're wicked. They're very evil, greatly evil, man, and have caused the Israelites to do evil as well. All right, so that's why that judgment is definitely a just judgment. Okay, it's rightfully so to happen. Okay, verse 14. So like, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. So this is another name for the valley of Jehoshaphat, basically going to that valley of destruction. Okay, so this is a great day of the Lord. Okay, and let's get that valley of Jehoshaphat in the Wikipedia. It says the valley of Jehoshaphat is a biblical place mentioned by name in Joel chapter 3. It says, I will get what we just read those scriptures. So I'll go on down. It says, let the nations be aroused and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there I was set to judge all the nations on every side, which we just read within the chapter of Joel. It says this location is also referred to as the Valley of Decision. Okay, so let's go on down even more. Slacky. Let's go on down even more. Okay. And they're going more into the location. Okay, so this location here says, and they name even some of the nations that will be a part of this this gathering of armies. Okay, it says the Gentile coalition of Moab, Ammon, and Edom. All right, and I named those Chinese, Japanese, and the self-proclaimed white nation. All right, they just so happily named those three. But it says about 11 miles from Jerusalem. Okay, so that gives you one instant of location right there. About 11 miles from Jerusalem, according to Esau's sources. Okay, but let's see what else it mentions on here. Okay, it says, it's going down. Look, this where it gets very spiritual. It says indeterminate. It may refer to an indeterminate valley of judgment. Okay, so this valley in the midst of, so this is basically, generally speaking, in the Middle East of Jerusalem. Okay, or very near Jerusalem, man, very near Israel. Okay, just to answer more on that question, it says since Jehoshaphat means, look at the name, man. The name is there. Hey, the name is there, man. It says Yahweh judges. Okay, Yahweh judges. All right, because in the Hebrew it's Jehoshaphat. All right, and the word Shaphat means to judge, man, or to plead. Okay, and it breaks it down as well. It says in Joel chapter 3 verse 14, the same valley. It says in the same valley is called Valley of Destruction or the Valley of Decision. Okay, so this is one and the same, man. And within that same, this really backs up what I mentioned before in Joel chapter 3. Okay, it greatly, definitely breaks it down. All right, so that was most I wanted to get on that end. All right, but I did want to also grab Isaiah, just a precept upon precept. It's Isaiah 66. I want to get one verse. Isaiah chapter 66 verse 18. It reads, "For I know their thoughts, Slacky. For I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory." All right, so the Lord is going to gather these armies. He's going to gather all these nations' armies, gather them in one pot, and greatly judge them, man. And they're going to see the Lord's glory, and they're going to know that is Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, and that He is the power of the Israelites. Okay, they're going to witness this, man. I will also get Zechariah 14. Zechariah chapter 14. I started verse 2. It says, "For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall be cut off from their city. Then shall the Lord go forth and fight against those nations." So the Lord is clearly going to fight against these nations and defeat them. It's going to be an easy fight. Okay, it is all prophecy. Okay, it says, "As when he fought in the day of the battle, and his feet shall stand that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east." See, it's near Jerusalem, man. And it says, "And the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west, and there shall be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half of it toward the south." Okay. And I also wanted to grab, let's see if we can get something else out of the blue letter real quick with Jehoshaphat. Let's see if we can get something. Jehoshaphat. Okay. So we get Jehoshaphat real quick. It says Yahweh has judged. All right. It says Jehovah, but we know the true name to be Yahweh. Okay. And Wikipedia also wrote that down as well. It says it's a symbolical name of a valley near Jerusalem. So they, just more evidence on, where the location is. All right. But we can also go to Revelation chapter 16 just to get that valley of Armageddon. Okay, because that was part of the question. So let's go to Revelation chapter 16, verse 16. Our Lord, where the Lord would essentially do the same thing, man. It says, Revelation chapter 16, verse 16. It says, and he gathered, I'm sorry, verse 15 says, it reads, behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. All right, because we understand the Lord is coming a thief in the night. And we keep it our garments, keeping these laws, statutes, commandments, keeping our spirit aright. Unless you be naked, unless your wickedness be revealed, man. Okay, and see your shame. Verse 16, it says, and he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. Okay. It says, and he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. All right. So let's also get that in Wikipedia. All right. Because he gathered into this place of Armageddon. And let's see what it says. It says, according to the book of Revelation, New Testament, which we just read, let's go on down to this part. It says, is the prophesied location of a gathering of armies for a battle during the end times. This is show that it is prophecy, and this is going to happen in these end times. It says, which is variously interpreted as either a literal or symbolic location. All right. Let's see. It says the Mount of Megiddo in northern Israel. It's not actually a mountain, but a tell. It says a mount or hill created by many generations of people living and rebuilding on the same spot. Okay, so this is so that the Valley of Jehoshaphat was near Jerusalem, correct? And now you see this power. This says the Mount of Megiddo, or it was Armageddon, known as Armageddon. It says it's in northern Israel. So generally speaking, it's in the same, very near the same location. Okay, generally speaking, you going to the precision within the miles or whatnot. Okay, but generally speaking, yes, it's within the same location. All right. But let's see what else it says. Or is that most of the point on that? Okay. But these are Esau sources, man. Okay, let's get in the blue letter, Armageddon in the blue letter. Okay, and in Revelation chapter 16, verse 16, and in the Hebrew is if I'm not mistaken, Armageddon. All right, Armageddon. HARMAGADA. It's like a GADWAN. All right, Armageddon. It says Armageddon says the hill or a city of Megiddo. It says the scene of a. It's like it says the scene of the struggle of a good and evil is suggested by that battle plain. It says which is famous for 2 great victories. That's in history. All right. Let's see. This also says. Let's see what else it says. All right. Slocky. Let's see what else it says. You know what? Let's get the because Armageddon one is also mountain of troops. Okay, mountain of troops, man. Look, it says hence in Revelation is a place of great slaughter. See, it says the scene of a terrible retribution upon the wicked. Upon what? The wicked Israelites, man. I mean, Slocky, the wicked heathen. You know, they're full of wickedness. All right, but let's get that the root word. See if I can get to it. Is this Megiddo? This is a place of crowds. Now let's get. You saw it says mount, and we looked at Armageddon, mountain of hill. All right, let's get this. Let's get right to this part. Okay, Godwan, or yeah, it says Gadad. Okay, it says to penetrate, cut, attack, invade, to penetrate, cut oneself, to gather in troops. That's why the definition of Armageddon is the mountain of troops. This is to gather in troops. All right, which basically definitely correlates or coincides with Joel chapter 3 and Zechariah chapter 14. So essentially, this is generally speaking of the very similar locations, man. Generally speaking, all right, in the Middle East, all right, where the Lord would plead with this people, man. All right, with these nations and judge them. Okay, Jehoshaphat, Armageddon. Okay, so we brought the Esau sources within Wikipedia, Valley of Jehoshaphat, Armageddon, the etymology of the words in the Hebrew, okay, in the scriptures to back up these points. So Lord willing, the lesson was edifying, and I will end all by giving all the glory, infinite praises unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well and oversee his tabernacle of David. All right, and Shalom, Abba, Shalom, keep the faith, Shalom.